Good morning, Cardinals and Cardinal parents, and welcome back to Morning Meeting. Today is Wednesday, January 13th, and what that means is that 13 days have already gone by in January. If you have your calendar, if you could look for the number 13. Another way of saying 13 is 110, that means 10 one time, plus 3, 110, 3. So our thumbs and our fingers, we always have 10 that we can count with. They're right with us all the time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So 13 is 110 plus 1, 2, 3. 10, 11, 12, and 13. So there are 310, 1, or 31 days in January. So 13 is about halfway through. So if you circle the 110.3, you will see that we are about halfway through the calendar. And usually in January, middle of January, halfway through, there's a lot of snow outside. But unfortunately, there's no snow. And you probably learned the reason yesterday when you were practicing using your thermometer, because it has to be about 310 degrees, 30, or 310s. 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 30. So the thermometer has to read 310 for the water vapor in the air to freeze and turn into snow. And so our temperatures have been close to 40 or 410. No snow. Plus there really hasn't been any precipitation or water or vapor in the clouds. But snow is coming. We still have half of January left, and February and March will sometimes bring lots of snow. So I'm sure it's coming. But today we will be talking about snow quite a bit. And I'll tell you a little more about that here in just a few minutes. But before I move into what's going on today, I wanted to just say a couple things about yesterday's activities. I hope you got a chance to read Say Something. And I hope you also got a chance to do Roses and Thorns with Miss Tess. And that is just an activity we like to do at the end of the day when we're together as Cardinals, just so everybody has that chance to say something, to say, this is what I liked about today, and these are some things I didn't like about today. And that helps other friends to know if there might have been something they did or said that made you feel bad. It just helps all of us to be sure we are a little more careful about the words we use or our actions. There's a couple of pages in this book that I just think are really worth reading again. So I'm going to do that. It says, the world needs to hear your voice. Yes, your voice. Go ahead. It doesn't need to be perfect, just as long as whatever you say is truthful and it's from your heart. And it doesn't have to be loud, because powerful words oftentimes are even more powerful if they are whispered. You can say something in so many ways. You can say it with words, or with the things that you do, your actions, or with your creativity. So for example, if you see somebody who is lonely, say something. Sometimes you don't even need to say something to help them out. Just by being there with them shows them that you care. Or if you see an empty canvas, a blank piece of paper, say something, not with words, but with your paintbrush. This is when it's really important too to say something. If you see somebody that is hurt, it looks like that person is on the floor, somebody's pushing him down, and this other person is looking at it and watching. Say something by being brave, like, hey, stop. So we're going to talk a little bit about being brave. Another story that we'll read today is called When You Are Brave. And this is just one of my favorite stories. It has some really beautiful artwork in it. This kind of reminds me of the Northern Lights. And that's what's on the front cover as you open up the book. But it's about a little girl that is having a really difficult day. And everything around her is just, it's just scaring her. And sometimes life does get scary. And what she ends up doing is she just pauses and she breathes deeply and she looks inside of herself. And she finds a hidden spark of courage that begins to appear. And she nurtures and grows that hidden spot of courage until it grows and it glows inside and out. So this is something that we do often at during our Cardinal days. Sometimes we all just have to stop and we have to pause and take a few deep breaths to quiet our minds and just to regain composure, regain our perspective, and help ourselves choose some braver thoughts. So I hope you like this book. I'm looking at my balloons here. I was kind of disappointed. I went outside this morning to see if my balloons had frozen. And they're starting to freeze, but again, the temperatures were not low enough yesterday for that to turn into a solid ball. So I decided, rather than waiting for the temperatures to be 310 or in that area for the thermometer to read 310, I'm going to put it in my freezer so that tomorrow at morning meeting, I'm going to pop open these balloons so you can see. Some of them I put some food coloring in, so some of them will have colors, and I also put some other shiny objects in a few of them. But I'm not going to count on the outside, out of doors, to be cold enough to freeze my balloons. I'm going to put it in my freezer, and my freezer is set at 30 degrees. So if I put them in there all night, they'll be frozen by tomorrow. All right, speaking about freezing water that falls from the sky, snow is our theme for today. So there is a recipe to make snow ice cream. It looks like late next week we might have some snow. So I sent a recipe today in the list of activities to your mom and dad that shows you how to collect some snow, get some milk, vanilla, and sugar, and you can make some delicious snow ice cream. You just have to make sure your snow is clean. So you want to put a real clean bowl up on a table, maybe out on your back porch, probably next Friday night when it looks like we might be getting some snow. And that next morning, if you have a big fresh bowl of clean snow, some milk, some vanilla, and sugar, you can make some snow ice cream with your mom or dad. We are also going to be introduced to a scientist who loves snowflakes. He is a snowflake scientist. He's actually called a physicist. But there's a video that you can watch, and ever since he was a little boy, he was fascinated by snow. And as he grew older, he began studying snowflakes. And here's just some pictures of these snowflakes. He calls them winter's frozen artistry, winter's hidden jewels. And he has a real sophisticated microscope and a very sophisticated camera, and he's able to take beautiful shots of snowflakes. So as you know, in our library, at our secret garden, this is so crazy, isn't it? These are actual snowflakes, not drawings. In our library, we have several of his books, and that have just page after page of these snow crystals that he photographs. And one of the things he will teach us in the video is that there's always 6 points to a snowflake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can watch in that video how crystals grow. And sometimes when the light shines through them, they act like prisms, and you'll see different colors through snowflake crystals. That's pretty amazing. One of the other activities that I have for you today is to draw a snowflake. And we tried this at school, and I thought maybe you could show your moms and dads how to do this too. All you need to do is know how to make 3 straight lines. But the tricky part is you have to know how to get those lines to intersect with each other, and I'll show you what I mean. So you start by making a straight line. Now I just have a piece of chalk, and I have a piece of blue construction paper. You can use a pencil and a piece of white paper, whatever works for you. I like to use white chalk and blue paper because it looks kind of more like snow. But you just start at the top of the page, and then you just draw a straight line, okay? And then you have to, here's the tricky part, you have to decide what is the middle point in that line. So it's about right here. You look at it and you cut it right in half. That's called division. When you take something big and make it smaller, divide it into smaller parts. So that's about halfway through. And here's the interesting thing. Now I am going to turn my paper like this, and I'm going to make an X. So I'm going to say, I'm going to take my chalk, and I'm going to go straight down like that, and then like that. So I made an X and a straight line. That's the hardest part. From there, I'm just going to put a circle on each of these lines. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. A snowflake crystal always has 6 points. So that looks like a pretty snowflake, but let's keep going. I can make arrows like that. Right? And I can make arrows on each one of these lines. I can really begin decorating this snowflake. And there is a video that you can watch that I sent to your mom and dad to show you step by step how to do this. You can even connect these here in the middle if you want. And really make some beautiful, grow your own snow crystals right here, just with a piece of chalk or a pencil and a piece of paper. Let's see, what else is going on here? We are not only going to practice drawing snowflakes, we're going to practice drawing the letter A. So I sent your mom and dad a worksheet, and they can print that out for you. And the way you draw a letter A is pretty easy. If you know how to draw a straight line, you just take your pencil, you make one line that way, one line that way, and a little bridge in between them. And then you've got some lines to practice your A 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And if you're interested, there is another sheet of paper that just helps you practice making those lines, different angles. So an A has a line that goes one way, and then a line that goes another way, and then you put those 2 different lines going 2 different ways together. So there's lots of opportunity to practice your letter A. And the last thing that I have for you is sent to your moms. Everybody has their own special, unique name, a worksheet. So I'm holding up Ethan's, but Ethan's name starts with the letter E. And then, as you see underneath that, a large E that his name starts with are 5 letters that spell out his name. So you just take your pencil, and what your name starts with and the way your name is spelled is what you'll be practicing. But you can just take your pencil and connect those dots, and then try writing it all on your own on the line underneath. So I hope you have some fun practicing that. Taking a look at the document here for other things that you'll be doing. Let's see, we talked about snow ice cream. There's some fun dances. You could fly with a snowman on a snowy night to the North Pole and hear some beautiful music. And there's a really fun experiment, and what it involves is getting a bowl of ice, getting some vinegar and salt, vinegar and baking soda, and some food coloring, and you're going to see some fizzy, beautiful ice crystals begin to form. It's a lot of fun, so I hope you might be able to get a chance to do that. We'll do that when we get back to school as well. So for those of you who want to just get a little bit of a head start and try practicing that, making some ice fizzy snow crystals, you could help teach us when we get back. So I think I'm going to leave you at this point with lots of those ideas to think about. I hope you have a great day today. I miss you, and we will see you next Tuesday. And if you look at your calendar, the day is 1/10/9, Tuesday 1/10/9. And you can count how many days there are between today, which is Wednesday 1/10/3 or 13. You can count how many days there are between 13th of January if you circled it and the 19th of January, and that's when we'll all be back together again. Thank you for all the pictures that you're sending, parents, and enjoy your day, and we'll see you soon.